Hi everyone. I'm Jonrel Picapistrano from BS Criminology. And in this video, I'm gonna discuss the 5 classification of fingerprint. Uh, there's 5 classification of fingerprint. First, the primary classification, and second is secondary classification. The third is subsecondary classification. Fourth, the K classification, and last, number 5, the final classification. So, what is fingerprint classification? It refers to the formula derived for a complete set of 10 fingerprints or the arrangement of fingerprint records into group or subgroups for filing purpose. First classification, the primary classification. The sum of the numerical values assigned to even numbers of fingerprint chart represent the numerator, and the sum of the assigned values to the odd numbers represent the denominator plus the pre-established fraction of 1/1, and it applies to word patterns only. There are 4 types of word. First, the W stands for plain word. Number 2, C, central pocket loop word. Next, D, double loop word. And the last, X, accidental word. Always remember the WCDX. The WCDX has a numerical value. And also, there are no numerical value. The ATRU. A stands for plain arch, and T stands for tented arch. The R are radical loop, and the last U stands for ulnar loop. So let's proceed now to the secondary classification. Secondary classification, fingers that appear in the right hand will become numerator, while fingers that appear in the opposite hand will be the denominator. The secondary classification is divided into 2 groups. First, secondary capital letter group, and second, secondary small letter group. So first, the secondary capital letter group are only finger 2 and 7. And the second, secondary small letter group, fingerprints with plain arch, tented arch, and radical loop in any finger except in the index fingers constitute to secondary small letter group. In primary classification, there are 5 things you should always remember. First, memorize the pairing of the fingers and their value. Second, only word patterns have value. Third, summation of numerical values assigned to word patterns. 4, even numbers are numerators and odd numbers are denominators. The 5 is, do not forget the pre-established fraction 1/1. So let's proceed now to the third classification of fingerprint, which is the subsecondary classification. The subsecondary classification is placed just right to the secondary classification. This classification concerned only with the index, middle, and ring fingers of both hands. Finger 2, 3, 4, and the other one is the 7, 8, 9. And index finger, there are 1 to 9 intervening ridges, and it belongs to inner. And the 10 or more intervening ridges belongs also into outer. Middle finger, there are 1 to 10 intervening ridges that belongs to inner, and 11 or more intervening ridges, which is the outer. In the ring finger, as you can see, there are 1 to 13 intervening ridges that belongs to inner, and 14 or more intervening ridges belongs to outer. The major division The major division concern only with the thumbs, both fingers 1 and 6, and the right thumb is the numerator while the left thumb is the denominator. The major division is placed at the left of the primary classification. Just like in subsecondary classification, ridge counting and whorl tracing will apply and is concerned only with the loops and whorl type of patterns. Arches are likewise rather disregarded in the classification. Now we will go to the fourth classification, which is the K classification. It is placed at the extreme left of the classification formula or to the left major division. This classification is obtained by counting the ridge count of the first loop. Appearing on the fingerprint card starting from the right thumb, finger 1, down to the last fingers of the left hand with the exception of the little finger 5 and 10. Since they are used for final classification. The last classification of fingerprint is final classification. Is obtained from the little finger 5 and 10. The ridges count of the loop will be brought up to the classification formula and will be placed at the extreme left of the formula. Unlike in the K classification, final classification is placed either in the numerator or denominator side depending on the where it is taken from. So, thank you everyone for listening. That's all. Once again, I'm General P. Capistrano from BSc 2B. Thank you.